Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the place where you learn new skill every time you visit. So keep updating yourself by subscribing to the channel.
Okay, so today we are talking about arrays. Now, array is basically a data structure. When we say data structure, that means the data is information, right? So the place where information is stored and the format in which information is stored is called data structure. So array is one of them, and we have others like linked list, which we will learn later on. Then we have binary tree and graphs. So all these are form of data structure where your data is stored, right? About them we'll learn later on. Let's first discuss about arrays, right? Think of array. Suppose there's a place called RAM. All right, let's RAM, RAM, or if you want to name it, name it as RAM pool. Okay, so we're talking about RAM. RAM, you know, it's a memory, right? So there are four friends. Okay, say A. You can name any Akka, B, Bakka, Sakka. Don't go by the spelling. Dakka and Ikka. All right. They're friends. So they want to live together. Right. They want to live in a place. They want to buy houses near to each other, just next to each other. So they went to the place called Rampur, and they bought houses. There are five friends. So they bought five houses over here. One, two, three, four. All right. Now, since the houses are just one after another, they have the house numbers, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the house number, and they will have a particular address also. All right. Suppose this one has this address 4262, depending on any other further thing, 426, 2 and 8. Now it depends on what is the data type of that particular data which is going to store there. So depending on the width of that, it takes the address. Like assuming that it has the difference of 2 bytes. So let's take it 4. Then this will be 4266, 4268, and 4270. These will be the addresses of things. Okay. So don't worry about these all detailing. I'm just explaining you so that it goes into your head clearly. So we were talking about these five friends, and these five friends were. So now what they want to do, they want to rent their houses to any five random numbers. All right. So they rent their houses to this, 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 and this. So now when rent his houses to five will go and stay here, seven will go stay here, eight will go stay here, nine will go stay here, and seven will go stay here. Okay. Now these persons who are renting the house may change, right? Next time you will get another one, another set of numbers, people. Now these people can be integer, these people can be characters, these people can be double. Okay. So this is an array concept. The data type or the data stores in a memory location, in a continuous memory location. When we define, we say array is a continuous memory location. That means the address of the one of the elements of the array is just adjoining to the next and before the previous, adjoining to the next one, after the previous and before the next. And these are the house number which we are calling them are actually their index values. So this we call it as index value. All right. Now I think this makes sense to you. So keep in your mind this idea, and then array will be easier for you. Now this is the 1D array. So when we talk about a 2D array, okay, think of a building. Think of a building which has 5 flats, right? And there's a building of, say, 4 floors, right? So now similarly, there are other friends, okay? Not A, B, C, D, E, they can be F, G, H, I. They also took up their flats in a building. Okay, so for now, there's a building. There's a building of 4 floors. Okay, let me change the color of my marker so you can distinguish. So 1, 2, 3. All right. So including the ground floor, there are 3 more floors above. All right. So similarly, now this there will be 4 floors or 5 flats over here. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And similarly, the addresses of them will also change. Okay, that I don't want to go in details now because then you'll get confused. So this particular now the address what we're talking about the flat number house number earlier what was the house number now becomes the flat number. All right, so let me just draw it again. So we have a building of 4 floors. Now here I'm talking about 2D arrays. Okay, 2 dimensions. One dimension has only one set of houses in the sequence, and 2 dimension has like a building which has different floors. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 houses in each floor. Let me erase the extra stuff. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. All right. So now this particular flat has a floor number and a flat number, right? This particular flat will have floor number 0. Now it starts from the top, 0, and flat number 0. Okay, floor number 0, flat number 1, 0, flat number 2, 0, flat number 3. So on the 0th floor, okay, this map is actually on the paper, and this we are talking about the first floor first. So 0, flat 0, flat floor 0, flat 0, floor 0, flat 1, and so on. Then floor 1, flat 0, floor 1, flat 1, floor 1, flat 2, floor 1, flat 3. Similarly, floor 2, flat 0, floor 2, flat 1, floor 2, flat 2, floor 2, flat 3. Then floor 3, flat 0, floor 3, flat 1, floor 3, flat 2, and floor 3, flat 3. So this is basic idea of an array, a 2D array. Okay, so 1D array is just a continuous set of houses with continuous memory location. Of course, this also have a continuous memory location. But now over here, if you observe this set of one of the floors, okay, one of the floors is itself a single dimension array. Okay, this is an array 1D. This is an array 1D. Okay, so we can say a 2D array is actually a combination of 1D arrays. When 1D arrays are mixed together, grouped together, it forms a 2D array. Okay, now the syntax for declaring a 2D arrays. Okay, the syntax for declaring a 2D array is first is int. You have to tell the data type no. You have to specify 2 brackets, one for the floor, one for the flat. All right, and you leave it like this. One way is you declare it there only, the dimensions. All right, how many floor, how many flats. So you say new. New is an operator which allocates memory. Okay, which allocates the location of those flats or buildings in the memory RAM or new and int. Now I want 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm talking about this particular buildings uh, scenario, then it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 floors and 4 flats. All right. There's another way of declaring it. When you don't know how many floor and how many flats, or how many rows and how many columns. When I say floor and flats, the floor are actually rows in term of matrix, technical term, and flats are basically columns. All right. So you declare this part here because you're not sure of how many rows and how many columns the user want. So you take the input from user. You take row input from user. I'll show you with example column input from user. And then after this, after taking the input, you assign it the rows and column to this particular matrix. NO equals to new int R and C. So basically here you're doing every stuff in one row. All right. Here you're doing every stuff in one row. Here you're doing one part of it and another part down below after getting the rows and column. All right. Now this third way of declaring a 2D array, I'll tell you that. Now, third way is when you predefine the values, when you assign, declare and assign then and there. Okay. All right. So that third way is something like this. Int number. Now, number is the array name. I can name it as anything. I can name it as matrix now, mat. Okay. I have to specify two square brackets denoting the rows and column equals to then curly bracket. Now another curly bracket in which you will have the first 1D array. That is the first row of that particular array. All right. Then comma. Then I'll over here I'm putting on next line, but in Java when you're doing compiler, you'll put on the same line. All right. Second row or second flat. And third and then fourth flat. And then it closes. Right. So this is a 2D array where every element of it can be accessed by its I by its row flat number and row floor number, right? So this is my 0, 0. This is my 0, 1, as I discussed here. This is very important. This flat number and floor numbers are very, very important because every logic of the matrix, you have to use this. All right. So this is about the array, the introducing the array. Now let's quickly go and see how we do it practically. All right. So let me take you to the, okay. So here I am in the BlueJS screen and I have already created a rough format of a 2D matrix, right? So this is I'm declaring a 2D matrix from here. Now in this question, I am taking the rows and columns from user. So I've declared two more variables, rows and columns. Then I'm asking the user to give me the rows and columns, which the user is giving the variable rows and columns. And then I am assigning these values I'm assigning over here the dimension of the 2D matrix. Then I'm asking the user to input the matrix elements. And since there are that many numbers of rows and column or that many numbers of floor and flats, I have to run two loops. In matrix, every time two loop will go on, as we have seen in the map of the flats and the floors, the I and J. So first loop will always go in I till rows, and second loop will go from J till columns. All right. So now I'm asking the enter matrix elements from user. I'm taking the input from the user, and here I'm just printing it out, the matrix elements. All right, if you see, I'll just scroll down and show you. I'll just scroll down. Yeah. So this I'm printing it out. Now you have to be careful when you're printing it out, because then when if you print it out, it should look in a matrix format. So to make it look in a matrix format, you have to give a uniform spaces between them with slash t. And then when the J loop ends, the J loop is actually the line. I'll show you. Let me run this. So when I run this, it compiles without error. I'll just go to BlueJ and run it. I'll create an object and I'll okay, so it'll ask me rows and columns. So I'll give you 3 rows and 3 columns. So 3 rows and 4 columns. Then it asks me the matrix elements. So I'll say any random elements I'll give. Continue asking me till 3 into 4, 12 elements. Okay, now you see over here. Now this slash t, that the gap, uniform gap between them is because of the slash t. Okay, so this is row. The downwards is maintained by the row, and the rightways is maintained by the column. So you see what is the difference, right? So when it goes to the end of the J, it moves to the next line. So this is J loop. So at the end of the J, it has to go to the next line, right? That's the reason in the code we have put a new line over here. All right. When the J loop ends, you have to put a new line so that in formatting, it goes like that. All right. I think now it makes sense to you. So this is basically introducing a 2D matrix. Okay. Now in the next video, we would be discussing about few more questions on metrics sometime after. All right. Thank you for giving your time.
If you are new to the channel, please subscribe it. Also press the bell notification so that you get notification as soon as I release a new video. Share and like the video.